Okay, I'm going to start recording on the computer.
Shri Krishna Caitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaur Bhaktavinda Shri Krishna Caitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaur Bhaktavinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Jai Om Vishnupad Paramahansa Puri Brajagacharya Ashtotar Shata Sri Srimad A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada Ki Jai. Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda Ki Jai. Namacharya Haridas Thakur Ki Jai. Prem Se Kaho Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasadi Gaur Bhaktivinoda Ki Jai. Shri Shri Radha Krishna Gopa Gopinath Shyamakund Radha Kunda Giri Govardhan Ki Jai. Vrindavan Dham Ki Jai. Navadvip Dham Ki Jai. Ganga Mayi Ki Jai. Jamuna Mayi Ki Jai. Bhakti Devi Ki Jai. Tulsi Devi Ki Jai. Samaveta Bhaktivinoda Ki Jai. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. Gaura Premanande Hari Hari Bol. Hare Krishna, and welcome everyone for Sri Caitanya Caritamrta with His Holiness Jayadvaita Swami. It is Thursday, September 26th, 2024 in New York. And where we are in Caitanya Caritamrta now is Adi-lila, chapter 10, verse number 25. Hare Krishna. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Thank you for posting the text, Elsie Priya. Thank you. Tanhara Bhagini Damayanti Prabhura Priyadasi Prabhura Bhoga Samagriye Kare Varamasi. Raghava Pandit's sister Damayanti was the dear maidservant of the Lord. She always collected various ingredients with which to cook for Lord Chaitanya. Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur writes in his Anubhashya, in the Gaura Ganodesha Dipika 167, it is mentioned, Gunamala Vrajayasid Damayanti Tutat Svasa. The gopi named Gunamala appeared as Raghava Pandit's sister Damayanti. On the East Bengal railway line, beginning from the Sealdah station in Calcutta, there is a station named Sodapura, which was not very far from Calcutta. Within 1 mile of this station, toward the western side of the Ganges, is a village known as Panihati, in which the residential quarters of Raghava Pandit still exist. On Raghava Pandit's tomb is a creeper on a concrete platform. There is also a Madan Mohan deity in a broken down temple nearby. This temple is managed by a local zamindar of the name Sri Shivachandra Rai Chaudhary. Markadvaj Kara was also an inhabitant of Panihati. Hare Krishna. Maharaj, would you like to say anything here? I don't have any comments. Last we were reading, Venkatesh Prabhu was very animatedly discussing both Raghava Pandit and Damayanti Devi, because Venkatesh Prabhu is an avowed bhakta of the Lord's prasadam, and he was very well versed in the personalities being discussed, and I'm glad to see he's here today. Hare Krishna.
Haribol. I have no extra comment.
Venkatesh Prabhu, would you like to continue with our text 26?
Yes. Just give me 1 minute, Roji. I will Just open the verse
You can
on
read
my
it from the
computer.
chat box also.
Okay. Oh yeah, fine. Thank you.
And Prabhuji, please go ahead and read until we come to a purport of more than 2 lines. That's fine.
Okay. So I'm depending on the chat box here for the verses for now. So, se sabha samagriyata jalite bhariya ragavalaya yana gupata kariya. Translation: the foods Damayanti cooked for Lord Chaitanya when he was at Puri were carried in bags by her brother Raghava without the knowledge of others. Text 27. Varamasatattaha Prabhu Karena Angikara Raghavera Jali Bali Prasiddhiyahara. Translation: the Lord accepted these foods throughout the entire year. Those bags are still celebrated as Raghavera Joli, the bags of Raghav Pandit. Text 28. Se sabha samagri age kariba vistara yahara sravane bhaktera vahe ashtudhara. I shall describe the contents of the bags of Raghav Pandit later in this book. Hearing this narration, devotees generally cry and tears glide down from their eyes. Purport: a vivid description of these Raghavera Jali is to be found in the chapter 10 of Adi-lila portion of Caitanya Caritamrta. So, these verses are amazing. Yes, actually, maybe after some time, I wanted to show some pictures of Paniyati and of the tree also. Maybe I'll arrange it after some few minutes. But by then, I will also, we can discuss these verses. So, as we discussed earlier, that Damayanti cooked for Lord Chaitanya when he was in, and when Lord Chaitanya was in Puri, Damayanti cooked and sent that dry prasadam through Raghav Pandit without the knowledge of others. So, well, the reason could be many why, like others, without the knowledge of others. Maybe he wanted to remain humble, that this is my humble service to the Lord, not that he'll put a big Facebook or tweet photograph of him doing some service. He may not have wanted that. That could be one reason, and also it's his personal service. He wants to just do it like that, and maybe the Lord and his devotees, they have sometimes very special friendship, and they have their own way of exchanging gifts, or you can say the rasa, like that. So we may have some friends also with whom we may just say give him a gift on his birthday. So gifts are generally packed in wrappers, so not everyone need to know what is in that gift, or not need to know that we have given a gift. Yes, Lord accepted these foods throughout the year. So this is very interesting. I can speak a lot on this. So throughout the year, now we may feel that we have these foods which come with expiry date. For example, this is a medicine I have here. So this medicine also has some expiry date. Let's see. Yeah, it may be of 1 year, 2 years, something like that. So foods, I think they are regulated in the various countries by various whatever laws and other things. But in Vedic culture also, there are various foods and which can stay for various duration of time. Especially where like people are expert. I know my grandmother who would make pickles and that would stay for a long time. And generally they prepare that once a year and it can be in stock for the whole year. And I think even in Bhagavad Gita it is said that there are four types of wealth: gold, land, cows, and grains. So grains were stored in granaries and for the whole year, so they could store it and it will be their supply for the rest of the year. Just like now we have this like this description that devotees from Bengal are visiting Puri, so they are coming there, for a long period of time. It takes several days or weeks, or I think at least few weeks to walk all the way from Bengal to Puri. So that is one thing, and then they will stay there for Rath Yatra and various other festivals. So that means they have enough time in their life. They are not working night shifts and making ends meet to earn some money. Like they have a carefree life. They are living in a agriculture-based society, so they just produce grains few times a year, maybe once or twice a year, depending on the crop and like the region where they stay. So maybe after one harvest, they have sufficient stock for the whole year. They need not work. They just maybe work for few months a year, 2 3 months, maybe in the rainy season. That's when nature gives them all the ingredients they need for growing their crops. And once the crops are harvested, stored, they're happy throughout the life. I mean, throughout the year, they can go anywhere they want. They can do whatever they want. They are free. So we can see the amazing life which devotees, I mean, people in the past would live, which is very rare in the modern civilization. Somebody who just works for 3 months a year, rest of the year they're free, carefree, they're roaming around. So it's not so easy nowadays. So going further, yes, the bags, Raghavera Jali. Jhola is the word in Hindi also. It's like a bag. Uh, I think one of my students, when we were discussing Dhruv Maharaj's pastime. Dhruv Maharaj was walking to the forest with a bag on the shoulder. So then my student told that he's Robin Hood, like he was carrying something in his hand. I don't know what that means. Maybe some of you might understand. So, anyways, so these bags were very much part of their life. Just like nowadays we have American Tourister or some kind of a trolley bag. So they had their own way of bags. And then, yes, I heard the next verse, text 28. So contents of the bags of Raghav Pandit. So will be described later in this book. So the contents. Why is the author is very much keen on describing the contents? So I heard earlier that the author himself of Caitanya Caritamrta, Krishnaraj Kaviraj Goswami, he is a great cook and he likes cooking, and he is very much a prasadam bhakta also. so then he is therefore describing, we can say, the ways in which prasadam is made, what are different types of prasad, what are their names, so various things. I have not read Chaitanya Charitamrita fully yet, but yes, I have heard that he describes it very vividly and nicely. So that is one reason. Author has his own flavor also. Of course, Chaitanya Charitamrita was revealed to him, so therefore we can see that Raghav Pandit was carrying without the knowledge of others. But then how did Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami know? Because it was revealed to him. Maybe I think Maharaj can describe it later what that means.
I don't think that explanation works because it's said that the bags were famous as Raghavira Jali. So
Oh,
even though he might have brought them confidentially, the word certainly has gotten out because Kaviraj Goswami says these bags are what is it, Prasid or something? They're famous. They're famous. Yeah, Prasiddhi Jahar. So now
nice.
everyone knew about them by Kaviraj Goswami's time.
Mm-hmm. Oh, nice. Thank you, Maharaj. Yes, I think that will be, yeah. Um, in the last verse, Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami is saying, what is the effect of hearing this narration? That by just hearing the narration, devotees generally cry and tears glide down from their eyes. So it's so nice. Yes, should I? Yeah. Okay, Ketan, you can take over.
Okay, thank you, Venkatesh Prabhu. Maharaj, would you like to say anything on these verses more?
No, except that Om Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swaminiti Namani Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharani Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschati Deshatani. Just that when something's in relationship to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, then it becomes interesting to us. Kaviraj Goswami, after all, he's a Goswami, so he's not interested in eating and tasting and enjoying. But when these items are related with Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, when they're offered with love to Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, then all the devotees take transcendental pleasure in hearing about the subject matter. And it is in that in Adi-lila, the description is vivid. So many varieties of food, because love that's one of the items of love. Bhunte bhojayate chaiva. To offer food with love is one of the items of devotional service. So, and Krishna himself, Patram Pushpam Palam Toyam. Someone offers me, he's asking, give me some food with love. He asks the Yagyapatnis, the wives of the Yagnik Brahmins, can you give some food? Or he has the cowherd boys ask for some food. And immediately they give it. Their husbands wouldn't, but they did, because there's love. Oh, Krishna's here, Balaram's here, and then his friends are here. So naturally they wanted to offer. And out of motherly affection also, the mothers naturally take pleasure in feeding the children. So out of motherly affection, the Yajnik Brahmins gave. So here Damayanti, although Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was a sannyasi, but he accepted, yes, this food is being offered with love and devotion. So there was an intimate relationship between Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and the devotees, expressed through the medium of cooking, through food. Prabhupada also, he'd accept from his devotees items nicely cooked for his pleasure. And then we're interested in that. What it have, if Shruti Kirti tells us what Prabhupada had for breakfast, what Prabhupada had for lunch, And we're interested. Otherwise, what do we care who eats what? But when Prabhupada's accepting prasadam, when he's up honoring prasadam, then that becomes very interesting for us. What was offered to Prabhupada, what was offered to the deities, not just so that we can taste the remnants, but just when we think of how so many nice things are being offered to Prabhupada. I was with Prabhupada one time in Boston, not only me, but I was present in Boston on the appearance day, I think, of Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, and Prabhupada prepared some simple word doll for his Guru Maharaj. His Guru Maharaj, he apparently was fond of word dolls, so Prabhupada also prepared some word doll for his Guru Maharaj. That means devotion and love. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Maharaj, thank you. As you were speaking, I was thinking of how seriously Srila Prabhupada treated prasadam, and I was just reading in Lilamrita a passage narrated by Rameshwar Prabhu. He was with Prabhupada in his room somewhere discussing serious points of BBT business. And then as soon as the prasadam came in, Rameshwar Prabhu said, it was as if I didn't exist. Prabhupada just turned and gave full attention to the prasadam, and the conversation was over without any preamble, so I just quietly left the room. Also, Prabhin Krishna Prabhu had asked a question. Venkatesh Prabhu had fielded it somewhat regarding this comment of Srila Kaviraj Goswami when Raghava Pandit brought these bags. It's specified without the knowledge of others. I wanted to know, because there was a question in the chat, whether you had anything more to say on that point.
I don't recall whether anything is mentioned on it in that 10th chapter of Adi-lila. Perhaps there might be a comment there. But otherwise, I don't have anything to add.
All right, thank you. Priti Purnamadavi Devi says, prasadam is an integral part of our society, which connects us to the Lord, the devotees, and society in an intimate manner because of the hard work and love which goes in preparing it and gifting it. Whenever we ask our son if he wants to go to temple, he is very excited about the prasadam we would get there. In college programs or other programs too, so many devotees get connected many times because of delicious prasadam only.
Yes, and particular prasadam items become associated with the deity. In Tirupati, the Tirupati ladus are famous. In Radha Ramana Mandir, those little clay pots of milk sweet are famous. In that Remuna, that kheer is famous. So as soon as you see that prasadam, you think, oh, he's come from Radharamana temple, or he's come from Puri temple. He's come from, what is that? Another temple where there's anyway, we won't get into the various kinds of prasadam associated with different deities, but it becomes not just a trademark item, but when you just seeing it, immediately you think of the deity. Immediately think of Tirupati temple or Jagannath Puri temple, that's Kaja. So such an important item in Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's movement, and in various places in Chaitanya Caritamrta, there are feasts, and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is personally feeding the devotees with his hands. So it's an item associated with prema bhakti, an item associated devotional service at the highest level. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu at one point goes into ecstasy describing the food that's been tasted by Krishna, the Mahaprasadam. So it's not just that, so when we say someone's a prasadam bhakta, of course, sometimes we just mean that he loves to eat nice food that's offered to Krishna. But in a deeper sense, there's we're like, what is that? Tasmat prataram devi tadiyanam samarpana. The prasadam of the Lord is also tadiya. It's also the paraphernalia or the associated with the Lord. So we worship the Mahaprasadam of the Lord. We honor the Mahaprasadam of the Lord because it's as good as Krishna. It's been tasted by Krishna. Or devotees become ecstatic tasting the particular prasadam offered to the Lord. And so therefore it's called prasad. It's Krishna's mercy, intangible and delicious form also. Chaturvida Shri Bhagavat Prasad. Svadvana Tripta. It's very tasty. But the main thing is that it's prepared for the Lord with love and accepted by the Lord because it's offered in devotion. Bhakti Pradama Shnami. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much. Panchatattva Prabhu says, could Raghava Pandit have brought it without the knowledge of others, so that so that he could be certain that it would only be for the enjoyment of Lord Chaitanya, kind of a protective secret? Apologies for speculating.
Yeah, I don't think unless we get a direct comment from later in the text, I don't think we know. We wouldn't expect that the devotees would raid the stock of food prepared for Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Certainly not devotees of that caliber. But I don't know if it's true, but I liked Venkatesh Prabhu's thought that it is true that a devotee is humble and doesn't want to advertise his service. I don't know if that was the motive here, but it's a worthy comment.
Right. Saraswati Mata says, Pranams Param Puji Maharaj and all Vaishnavas. My mother was an extraordinary cook. My father was a connoisseur of good food, and both were united in their love of feeding prasadam to devotees. As a child, I would think they went overboard because my mother would have us stay up all night to cook so many varieties to offer sannyasis and devotees for programs in our home, festivals at temples, etc. My mother would say that now Krishna is definitely accepting prasadam if devotees are accepting it. Some devotees said they would make sure they are hungry to be able to eat more of her prasadam.
Nice. And it's mentioned also, someone was traveling and he recounted to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu that I went to such and such home and there was such wonderful food that was offered. And it turned out that it was Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's mother. Someone might remember who that was.
And Praveen Krishna Prabhu offers some of the famous things associated with various temples. Kaja of Jagannath Puri, Payesh of Guruvayur, and Panakam of Panaka Narsingha.
There's one temple, I'm trying to remember which temple it is. They have like a large round, what you'd think of as like a frisbee or that's sort of size, made of grain and sugar and very, very hard. Is that Natwar? No. But I think maybe in Maharashtra somewhere. Anyway, unfortunately, I've forgotten which temple that is. But it's a very famous item associated with that temple. As soon as someone sees it, they think, oh. So they're, again, very particular items.
Saraswati Devi says tour in Nathdwar. Hare Krishna.
Tour means?
Tor.
Tor. And what is that?
That is, as you have described, Maharaj, it's very round and big, and sometimes has this sort of coating of sugar. I don't particularly like
I think
it.
we're thinking of the same thing then, maybe.
I don't particularly like it, but it's very famous in Natwar.
Yes. Natwar, you could have we could write a chapter about the Mahaprasad that's available of the deity and from the deity in Natwar. Maybe I won't say more about it because otherwise we only have 20 minutes left. But so many amazing things are offered to the Lord in Natwar.
As you might expect, the chat window is filling up with prasadam stories. Tulsi Priya says, when I first joined in Boston, the head cook there made amazing prasadam, which was famous all over the US, if not the world. I've never tasted gulab jamuns as good as his. Hare Krishna. Riti Purnamadavi Devi says, in Srinathji, they offer a coconut in grated form, which is easier for little Krishna to take. Hare Krishna. We could move forward with the text if perhaps Panchatattva is able to read. Let's see where we are.
$29.
29. Yeah. Prabhuratyanta Priya Pandit Gangadas Yahara Smarane Hoy Sarva Bandhanash. Pandit Gangadas was the 8th dear branch of the tree of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. One who remembers his activities attains freedom from all bondage. Om Jnana Timaranda Shagananjana Salakaya Chakshumane Tam Jnana Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. I think he was, if it's the same Pandit Gangadas, he instructed Nimai in grammar, Sanskrit grammar. And Nimai Pandit would immediately capture the knowledge and perfectly of the grammatical studies. And he would come to Jagannath Puri from Bengal with all the Bengali devotees for Rath Yatra. I don't know anything else. Chaitanya Parashada Sri Acharya Purandar Pita Kariyare Bhale Goranga Sundar. Sri Acharya Purandar, the 9th branch, was a constant associate of Lord Chaitanya's. The Lord accepted him as his father. Purport. It is described in the Caitanya Bhagavat that whenever Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu visited the house of Raghava Pandit, he also visited Purandar Acharya immediately upon receiving an invitation. Purandar Acharya is to be considered most fortunate because the Lord used to greet him by addressing him as his father and embracing him in great love. Hare Krishna.
Prabhu, if you'd like to continue to read, I would not object, certainly.
Hare Krishna. Damodara Pandit Sakha Premete Prachand Prabhura Upare Yeho Vailavakya Dhanda. Damodar Pandit, the 10th branch of the Chaitanya tree, was so elevated in love of Lord Chaitanya that he once unhesitatingly chastised the Lord with strong words. Danda kata kahiba age vistara korea, dande tushta prabhu tare Adi-lila nadia. Later in the Caitanya Caritamrta, I shall describe this incident of chastisement in detail. The Lord, being very much satisfied by this chastisement, sent Damodar Pandit to Navadvip. Purport: Damodar Pandit, who was formerly known as Shaibya in Vrajadam, used to carry messages from Lord Chaitanya to Sachimata, and during the Ratha Yatra festival, he carried messages from Sachimata to Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. We have something from Prabin Krishna Prabhu. It says, Sri Rangapuri at Pandharpur shared that he had a nice feast at Navadvip at the house of Jagannath Mishra, cooked by the hands of the Mother of the Universe.
Yes, that's the incident.
Shall I continue, or someone else should read?
I'd be happy if you continued, Prabhu, if you don't mind.
Tarara Anuja Shakha Shankara Pandita Prabhu Padupadhana Yaranama Vidita. The 11th branch, the younger brother of Damodar Pandit, was known as Sankara Pandit. He was celebrated as the shoes of the Lord. Sadasiva Pandit Yara Prabhupade Ash Pratame Nityanandar Yara Garevas. Sadasiva Pandit, the 12th branch, was always eager to serve the lotus feet of the Lord. It was his good fortune that when Lord Nityananda came to Navadvip, he resided at his house. Purport: it is mentioned in the Chaitanya Bhagavat, Antyakanda, chapter 9, that Sadashiva Pandit was a pure devotee, and that Nityananda Prabhu resided at his house. Sri Nishinga Upasaka Pradyumna Brahmachari Prabhu Tara Nam Koila Nishingananda Kari. The 13th branch was Pradyumna Brahmachari. Since he was a worshipper of Lord Nrsimhadev, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu changed his name to Nishingananda Brahmachari. Purport: Pradyumna Brahmachari is described in the Adi-lila 2nd chapter of Sri Caitanya Caritamrta. He was a great devotee of Lord Chaitanya, who changed his name to Nrsimhananda. While coming from the house of Raghava Pandit at Panihati to the house of Shivananda, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu appeared in the heart of Nrsimhananda Brahmachari. To acknowledge this, Nrsimhananda Brahmachari used to accept as eatables the food of 3 deities, namely Jagannath, Nrsimhadev, and Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. This is stated in Chaitanya Caritamrta Adi-lila 2nd chapter, verses 48 through 78. Upon receiving information that Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was proceeding toward Vrindavan from Kulia, Nrsimhananda absorbed himself in meditation, and by his mental activities began constructing a very nice road from Kulia to Vrindavan. All of a sudden, however, he broke his meditation and told the other devotees that this time Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu would not go to Vrindavan, but would travel only as far as the place known as Kanai-Natashala. This is described in Madhya-lila chapter 1, verses 155 through 162. The Goro Ganadesh Divika says, Avaseshas Tatadgyeo Misre Pradyumna Sangyake. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu changed the name of Pradyumna Mishra or Pradyumna Brahmachari to Nrsingananda Brahmachari, for in his heart, Lord Nrsingadev was manifest. It is said that Lord Nrsingadev used to talk with him directly. Don't have anything. Gurudev, would you have something to say? Have to unmute.
There's a discussion later on in Caitanya Caritamrta about how Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu would appear in different ways or manifest himself through different devotees. And in that connection, Pradyumna Brahmachari is mentioned, the Sringananda Brahmachari. Yes. So that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was present essentially through the in the heart of Sringananda Brahmachari, Pradyumna Brahmachari. Because someone wants, they could find out that place.
Our BBT devotees have produced a beautiful painting of that incident where Sringananda Brahmachari is decorating the path for Lord Chaitanya as he dances down the path. It's a very beautiful painting, a favorite of mine.
Gurudas Prabhu, would you like to read our next verse, number 36?
Wow, Hare Krishna.
Oh.
My obeisances to Maharaj and all the devotees. Once again, you're reaching for the bottom of the barrel, but I'll give it a whirl. Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Sopachimiti Sattvajasko Swami Tinoni Satsrupa Vidamana Vinitam Sarabhushanam Bhakti Gandhana Nibini Bhakti Vedanta Shikritam Narayana Pandita Eka Pada I Udara Chaitanya Charana Vinu Nahi Jane Ara. Translation. Narayan Pandit, the 14th branch, a great and liberal devotee, did not know any shelter but Lord Chaitanya's lotus feet. Purport. Narayan Pandit was one of the associates of Srivas Thakur. It is mentioned in the Caitanya Bhagavatam Monday, 8th chapter, verse 36, that he went to see Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu at Jagannath Puri with the Thakur's brother, Sri Ram Pandit. It's quite a statement to say he did not know any shelter but Lord Chaitanya's lotus feet. It's the desire of every devotee but it occurs to this fallen soul that until we reach the point of Atma-nivedanam, complete surrender, there's every chance we take shelter in so many things that are we see them as shelter, or we experience them as shelter, but they're not actually shelter. I'm not telling anything to anyone in this Sangha that they don't already know, but this process of bhakti is the process of training oneself to take shelter of the Lord, take shelter of Guru, Shastra, Sadhu, and renouncing our tendency to take shelter in many illusory and false things. Hare Krishna.
Right, Krishna Prabhu, thank you so much. Maharaj, would you like to say something about this? That phrase struck me as well, the idea of taking shelter. I wonder if there's a synonym for that we could use sometimes, because just to make it more clear.
Well, in the Bengali, it just says Chaitanya Caritamrta, Chaitanya Choran Binu Nahi Janayar. He didn't know anything other than the lotus feet of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And Prabhupada expands it. Didn't know any shelter but the lotus feet of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. I'm reminded, Narottam Das Thakur sings, Gorongera Shangigani Nityashiddha Korimani. One should know that these associates of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu are his eternally liberated devotees, eternally liberated associates. So just by remembering the associates of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, we're becoming fortunate. What is that? Tarhai, Brajendra, Shuddhabash. We become fortunate just by remembering the associates. The associates means Chaitanya Mahaprabhu with his associates, Krishna with his associates. Prabhupada always stressed that Krishna is never alone. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, we don't think of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu alone. It's with his devotees. Prabhupada, one time he was speaking he mentioned the first verse of Chaitanya Bhagavat. He mentioned, what is that? Let's see. Saputraya, the Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. I worship Chaitanya Mahaprabhu along with his sons. And Prabhupada said that Mahaprabhu had married twice, but he had no children. So then why does Vrindavan Das Thakur say along with his sons? Prabhupada said his sons were his devotees. So we worship Chaitanya Mahaprabhu along with his devotees. And in relationship to the devotees, these loving sentiments of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu are disclosed. Just sort of tangentially, I'm reminded of the late Joe O'Connell, who was an academic scholar of Gaudiya Vaishnavism. And he was such a scholar, you mention any associate of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and he would know who that person was, which part of Bengal he was from, which family he belonged to, and so many things. He was astonishingly learned in these activities. And he was also very affectionate to the devotees and rendered service to the Hare Krishna movement. And of course, there are many devotees who relish Sri Chaitanya Caritamrta and remember the various devotees of the Lord and what their activities were. Radhanath Maharaj comes to mind as a devotee who's very well versed in Caitanya Caritamrta, and they knowing the different devotees of the Lord and their pastimes. So just remembering these. Someone may say, this is a boring chapter. The first person is this one. The second branch is that one. 4, 5, 7. But this counting is counting. It's like counting pearls, counting the devotees of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And then later in the text, we'll hear more about many of these devotees and their dealings with Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu.
Hare Krishna, thank you. Oh, Venkatesh Prabhu asks you, Maharaj, if you could say the name of that scholar again. He would like to look him up.
Joseph O'Connell.
Didn't he just pass recently, Maharaj?
Within the last couple of years.
We are at 7:56 by my clock, and we still have some voluminous stuff in the chat window. Praveen Krishna Prabhu has quoted some extensively pastimes of Nrsingananda Brahmachari. Vanchitattva Prabhu, would you be able to read those comments?
Where do we start? Let's start with Praveen, 750. No.
Yeah,
Praveen,
Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu always appeared.
Praveen writes, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu always appeared in 4 places: in the household temple of Mother Sachi, in the places where Sri Nityananda Prabhu danced, in the house of Srivas Pandit during congregational chanting, and in the house of Raghava Pandit. He appeared because of his attraction to the love of his devotees. That is his natural characteristic. As the month passed, but Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu did not come, Jagadananda and Shivananda became most unhappy. Suddenly, Nrsingananda arrived, and Jagadananda and Shivananda arranged for him to sit near them. Seeing them both so unhappy, Nrsingananda inquired, "Why do I see that you are both despondent?" Then Shivananda Sain told him, "Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu promised that he would come. Why then has he not arrived?" Hearing this, Nrsingananda Brahmachari replied, "Please be satisfied. I assure you that I shall bring him here 3 days from now." Shivananda and Jagadananda knew of Nrsingananda Brahmachari's influence and love of Godhead. Therefore, they now felt assured that he would certainly bring Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. His real name was Pradyumna Brahmachari, the name Nrsingananda given to him by Lord Gaurasundar himself. After meditating for 2 days, Nrsingananda Brahmachari told Shivananda Sain, "I have already brought Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to the village known as Panihati. Tomorrow at noon, he will come to your home. Therefore, please bring all kinds of cooking ingredients. I shall personally cook and offer him food." And Venkatesh Prabhu writes, Maharaj, we already got that. Is there anything else?
I think that's it, Prabhu. Thank you so much for reading. And Venkatesh, if you could lead our closing kirtan, that would be so nice.
Okay, as a service. Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Krishnaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Prajayini Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pashatya Deshatarine Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivastava Bhakta-vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare जय ओम विष्णुपाद परमहंस व्याजाचार्य अष्टोत्तर शत श्री श्री शिवानंद ऐसी भक्तिवेदांत स्वामी प्रभुपाद की जय जय ओम विष्णुपाद परमहंस व्याजाचार्य अष्टोत्तर शत श्री श्री शिवानंद भक्ति सिद्धांत सरस्वती गोस्वामी ठाकुर श्री प्रभुपाद की जय नमः अंधकोटि वैष्णव की जय नमः हरिदास ठाकुर की जय प्रेम से हो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासदि गौर भक्तवृंद की जय श्री राधा कृष्ण गोपीनाथ श्याम सुंदर राधा कुंड गिरि गोवर्धन की जय वृंदावन मथुरा धाम की जय नवद्वीप मायापुर धाम की जय जगन्नाथपुरी धाम की जय गंगा माई यमुना माई की जय तुलसी देवी भक्ति देवी की जय समवेत गौर भक्तवृंद की जय all glorious assembled devotees, all glorious assembled devotees, all glorious assembled devotees, all glorious Shri Guru and Shri Gauranga.
Jai Jai. Thank you so much, Venkatesh Prabhu. And thank you everyone for being here. So much appreciated. Thanks you, Maharaj. Srimad-Bhagavatam, Shri Caitanya Caritamrta, Ki Jai, Srila Prabhupada, Ki Jai, His Holiness Jayadvaita Swami Maharaj, Ki Jai.
Yeah.
Samaveta Bhakta-vrinda ki jai.
Yeah.
Gaur Premanande.
Haribo.
Thank you, Gurudev.
Thank you, Panchatattva Prabhu.
Greetings from Hurricane Country.
Excuse me?
Greetings from Hurricane Country.
Oh, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Hare. Jai Krishna Kaunteya.
Thank you, Maharaj.
Thank you, Gurudas Prabhu. Thank you to all.
Thank you.
Hare Krishna.